All right. It's been a big week for housing data. Existing home sales fell nearly 5% from December to January, a steeper drop than the street expected. Earlier this week, we got data on housing starts and home builder sentiment, which dropped to 5-month lows. All the news has kept home builder stocks deep in the red. For more on the state of the housing market, let's bring in Orphe Divounguy. Thank you so much for joining us, senior economist at Zillow. We've certainly had a lot of news to go through, but let's talk, I guess, about the existing home sales first and the disappointment there.
Look, despite the higher for longer rate environment, I think home buying demand has proven resilient. Existing home sales are still about 2% higher than a year ago. And even the new home sales, you look at the way they ended last year, right? Also ended on a strong note. Builders continue to make the math work for home buyers. They're building more efficiently. They're providing incentives for 3 out of 5 homes. And if you look at the share of builders cutting their prices, it's lower than a year ago. All of that to say, look, higher mortgage rates are higher than they were last year, and yet you're still seeing that kind of activity. I think that's, I think we're making too much of the headline number. Remember, these homes that sold in that are in the report went under contract in December at a time where mortgage rates were actually rising. Since, I think, mid-January, mortgage rates have eased. The combination of more sellers this spring, new listings on Zillow are up 12% from a year ago. That, with easing rates later this year, should actually make for a more interesting home shopping season than we had last year.
But the new construction starts also weaker in January than a year ago.
That's right. So if you look at the data, the January data, it's all about the weather. The weather problems that we had in the South, the unusual winter freeze. You look at the starts. Where did starts fall? Starts fell 19% in the South, 15% in the Northeast, and I think 9% in the Midwest. But they were up 25% on the West Coast. And so, again, it's mostly weather disruptions. Rates have actually eased slightly since mid-January. So I think, although rates remain a key factor, home buyers haven't given up on home ownership. And we're seeing, we're expecting activity to actually continue to pick up. Let me add one more thing. Roughly 50 to 70% of sellers end up buying again. Historically, that increase in the number of homes for sale, right, has been positively linked with an increase in the measure of home buyers in the housing market, an increase in search activity. And so that's why we're somewhat optimistic that home sales could actually rebound slowly in 2025.
Orphe, it's Karen. Thanks for being on. I'm a Zillow holder, by the way. I love the platform, great business, but you need more sales to go through. And I'm wondering, what do you think is sort of the magic rate for mortgages, or the amount of time that needs to go by to release a significant portion of those stranded houses that people who have low mortgages just can't seem to want to get rid of yet?
Look, those people are coming back. We have existing homes are up 12%, coming on the market, up 12% from a year ago. So those people are coming back. I think what we need is more certainty, more consumer confidence, business confidence. A lot of workers are kind of stuck in place right now, not sure what to do with, with hiring rates lower. We need less economic policy uncertainty. I always say that when people are uncertain about the future, they tend to sit on their wallets. And so we need to kind of like that to die down on the policy, right? To dial it down a little bit on the policy changes and allow people to kind of move on and live their lives. People are going to move. And I think the home shopping season is gearing up to be a little bit stronger than it was last year. Zillow forecasts that home sales should end the year. We should see about 4.11 million home sales this year, a slight rebound from the 30-year low that we saw last year.